So starting off with the continuation of the series, I just want to say one thing. So when I was recording this next portion of the game, unfortunately the audio that was supposed to go to the game didn't actually record. So the way I figured that I can salvage this will probably just try to do a voiceover. Because unfortunately, the as you can see from probably the length of the video, it is a pretty long episode. And since I've already played it and I don't necessarily want to re-record it again, considering since I already know what's gonna happen, I figured the best way to kind of make a positive out of a pretty bad situation is just try to record a voiceover. So again, I apologize for if any of the reactions going forward isn't authentic. Unfortunately, it didn't actually record, so I can't really, fake a reaction to something that I already saw. The good thing is that the majority of the remainder of the story, I should say, is very dialogue heavy. So there are going to be a lot of instances where Alyson and Tyler are just talking. So we left off in this portion where we actually just opened up the loft of the barn.
Recognize this?
Yeah. It's from the story where the goblins tricked the Mad Hunter.
It looks like it, but it's different, right?
So again, I am going to try to remain quiet. Even though I already seen this, I still just want to remain quiet, making sure that I don't,
Book of Goblins here?
I don't know.
Disrupt their dialogue on there. So in case you guys are just seeing this for the first time. So right here, we're just trying to solve a few puzzles. It's just it's so weird, just trying to...
It looks like the little piece should move, but...
it's weird trying to react
Maybe these need to be done in
to
order.
something that
The
I've
Mad
already
Hunter
done.
seems to be first.
And mind you, I was actually pretty confused throughout the whole time, hence why it's so long.
We'll get to those.
Yeah, I was just trying to
Let's
look
finish
around a
this
few
one,
things and just
okay?
making sure that I don't miss anything. Another thing I could have possibly done as well was try to cut out the areas where there really wasn't much to really, there wasn't really much of any dialogue, but I just felt that I kind of took away from the story, considering that I have been recording everything from that point on. Everything has been uncut.
Oh, here it is.
So I didn't want to do
Why do you think
that.
she changed the picture?
I don't know. Maybe it's a message. Like, the differences between the two mean something.
Something about Marianne, right? Since she's the princess?
Yeah. Why don't we try to find them all and then see if it makes any sense?
So I actually enjoyed this puzzle quite a bit. Just making it kind of reminded me of those little board games that we used to play when we were kids.
Okay.
You just
Spot
need
the
to find the
differences.
different type of things from the painting and the cover of the book.
It moves. Oh. Some of these parts are buttons.
And again, like I mentioned in the original recording, I was actually
Why do you think she added that castle in the
doing a little bit
background?
of a
See the
dialogue.
color of the flag? It could be the Gold Lady's castle. And it looks like the princess is running away from it.
So, Marianne ran away from home. And she grew up kinda rich? The princess is running away from the Mad Hunter.
Who was sent by the Gold Lady, according to the story.
Do you think the Gold Lady could have been Marianne's mom? I mean, she always used to say she moved to the end of the world to get away from her family.
Yeah, you're right. She ran away. Just like the princess is here.
So I did find this last portion to be very interesting. There was a lot of lore.
The Mad Hunter still has two hands here.
So this was either before the Gold Lady cut off his other one, or after he earned it back?
Which either makes it before most of the stories or after.
Yeah, at some point when she was running away from whatever the hell the Mad Hunter meant to Marianne.
Yeah, so there's a lot of backstory and a lot of lore in this, just in this very last moment. And I mentioned that it is last because, like I mentioned, I already did complete this portion as well as the next portion that I will be uploading, and was the last bit of the game. And it just sucks, man. It just sucks not having the original recording.
Figured anything out yet?
Because I felt like it was building up all to this, and then in the end it just ends up screwing up.
No,
but it's fine,
it out.
as long as I can actually just have this last portion recorded and just upload it. I guess for myself I can also just look back to the moment where I actually completed the game, which was actually a pretty good story considering the bad reviews that it got. It was a pretty solid game. I would say so. And again, right here I'm just going back and forth because I feel like I was missing something. There was something with the branches. Was there something on the water? Maybe with the Mad Hatter himself. I was just going back and forth, and I was just skimming through the pictures and all that because I was very confused as to what else was missing. And I actually don't remember what it was. I think it wasn't the branch, was it?
Maybe that branch looks a little bit different?
No.
Even if the branch is a little different, I don't really think
Oh,
that
okay,
means
I
anything.
remember what it is. I'm not going to say what it is, but
Does his smile look different to you?
I know what it is. And I'm sure some of you might have already figured out what it is too. I was genuinely surprised how long it took me to figure it out. Considering I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, and I was able to figure out those puzzles quite easily. This little thing, this portion here, did give me kind of a bit of a hard time when the answer was literally right there in the Goblin's book.
It's not the same title, so I guess that counts
There
as
you
a
go.
difference. That's it. Whoa.
What's in there? Tyler, see that little light?
And
I think we need to
right
solve this one
here,
next.
you guys are gonna see and feel a little disappointed. I was disappointed.
Pictures, letters.
So the first thing I obviously
Have you
will
ever
take
seen any of
will
these?
be the
All the pictures
collectible,
of
right?
Marianne I've ever seen were the ones hanging on the walls.
So I
The
take
gold
the
lady.
collectible,
That was definitely her mom.
and
So, did Marianne
my reaction
all
here
kinda rich?
was one of disappointment, because as you can see down there, I actually end up missing one. And here I thought I was being very thorough. I was like looking all over the areas, making sure that I don't miss anything.
Maybe.
But
Would have been
I
nice to have
guess I
some of
wasn't
that.
thorough enough because I missed one. Crazy, but you know what? I am gonna replay the chapter in which that missing collectible is. I might even capture it on film so I can just collect the last collectible. I am assuming it is gonna be an achievement too. Again, I'm not gonna read the portion because I already did read it in the original one.
Could this guy have been any more cryptic?
I was just trying to do everything
Wow.
as,
I don't think I've ever seen a
you know,
picture of her that young.
as much
I
justice
think
as I
that's her
possibly
mom
can, because I
in
kind of knew we were reaching the end of the story.
Oh, poor thing.
Why would she keep an old drawing?
But alas, everything sometimes doesn't work the way you want it to work, and you know what? That's fine.
I can't believe she was a ballet dancer. Marianne.
And a good one, too.
God, that's so not her. Did you know she studied engineering?
No. But it looks like she changed her major to visual arts.
I don't think she actually got it changed. The paper's not signed and it's all wrinkled. Like someone tried to throw it away. You think the guy with her is Brent? From the letter?
I would guess so.
See, that's one thing I didn't really understand about this character named Brett.
Tyler, see that little light? I think we need to solve this one next.
So again, this is another little small puzzle that for some reason
There's the
confused
gold
me
lady
more than
again.
it should have.
She's all over the board. There was a figure of her in that stash by the Mad Hunter painting, right?
Oh, yeah.
So maybe all of this is related to what we found in there.
And it's actually kind of crazy because as I'm seeing it now, like, it's so obvious, the answer is like right there. If I just paid a little bit more attention to the small details that was in that small stash,
Figured anything out
would
yet?
have figured this out pretty quickly. Like right now, I already know what the answer is.
Nah, still thinking.
So there we go again. I'm just making sure that I'm not missing anything. I did rescan a few things, just making sure that I read them thoroughly. But in the end, you kind of didn't really have to do that.
So Marianne's mom forced her to do all this?
That checks out. She looks like she's in pain. And the gold lady is watching her so closely.
And yeah, so I'm just rereading everything again, just making sure.
Could this guy have been any more cryptic?
Go. And all I really had to do was just look at the pictures. Like, all right, so let's piece them together. I think I figured out the first two rather quickly, especially with like.
Hey, I can move the piece next to the gold lady.
All these pictures. They look like images from Marianne's life before Delos, don't they?
Well, some of them do anyway.
Maybe that's it then. We need to figure out which ones are real?
Yeah. So basically, that was the clue right there. You just have to piece them together.
The princess dancing, playing violin, spinning wool. I guess this is stuff she did for fun?
Notice how unhappy she looks in all these pictures? I don't think she was having any fun.
Yeah, so the first one was pretty obvious with the pet bird. There's like a huge drawing of it, like blaster right there in the little secret stash. The dancing with the medals, pretty self-explanatory. And then the bottom one was also pretty easy to spot. I don't know why it took me a while to figure that one out. The third one was the one that kind of gave me a little bit of an issue, but after a while I sort of kind of pieced it together.
That's the princess and the gold lady. See how closely she's watching Mary.
And I think right there, that's where that little light bulb comes up, that moment, and like, okay, I think I figured that shit out. And then I just, for some reason, continue reading it just to make sure that if I can find the third piece.
Could this guy have been any more cryptic? Oh, poor thing.
Oh shit. You think Marianne's mom took away her pet?
Why would she do that?
Maybe as a kind of punishment? Or just because she was mean?
So yeah, so looking at the three pictures, I was kind of like,
The wise princess.
I
looks
don't
like she's trying to
even
run
know
away.
what the third one
She's
is,
being watched by the
but
gold
I think
lady.
I know what the fourth one is. And I think that's when I go ahead and just change it to the correct one. So now I just needed to figure out the third one.
Whispering something into someone's ear behind the princess's back?
And again, guys, I am so sorry that I'm just doing commentary already after it's done. This is weird for me too, just having to do that and just explain exactly what was actually going on the original time.
Is that it?
So yeah,
It's opening.
as you can imagine, when I opened that, I was pretty hyped.
What's in there this
I was
time?
like, okay, so I figured that out. And then I looked at the time. I was like, holy shit, I've been recording for like 14 minutes already. And I've literally just
Is that
solved
Carol?
2 puzzles.
Yeah, and Sam. Look at him. He's so young and happy.
And there was actually a little hint by the door, if you guys didn't notice.
Wow. She worked for a watchmaker in Juneau before she moved to Delos. No wonder she was so handy.
I didn't notice this small little symbol until I rewatched the film again. But thankfully I didn't actually need it because, as you'll see, moving forward here,
Park.
I actually won't even
Is
use
that
it.
some kind of commune?
Looks like it. So weird to imagine her living in a community like that. With, other people.
The weirdest part is how they all seem to love her. Where was prom queen Marianne when the whole town was turning on us? father.
Yeah, so this letter was actually pretty intense, considering that her own dad, I guess, kind of disowned her after she had run away. But consider what Marianne's mother put her through, and all the just everything that she did to her. And you would kind of imagine, you as a person, you probably might just want to run away from a situation like that. And then receiving a letter from your dad basically letting you know that your mom ended up dying because of the amount of stress that you caused her, and no doubt would definitely leave a huge fucking dent on you. Like, it's crazy. Like, I could never imagine a parent putting that sort of guilt on a child, or I don't think Marianne was a child at the time, but putting that sort of guilt on their kid, on their daughter or their son. It's pretty intense, which it's definitely not just a game thing.
What the hell?
It happens real life.
Marianne was pregnant in 1992, before she even got here.
Before us?
Yeah, and
Do we have a long-lost sibling out there somewhere?
It's possible,
right here I was
but
like, holy shit.
she could have given it up or miscarried. Who knows?
Yeah, you're right. Do you think we could track down her father?
You mean the grandfather she never told us about? I don't think I want to.
You're not at all excited about having more family.
You saw the letter. I don't think we want any part of that.
Fine. Let's keep digging.
Yeah, so for right there, I was kind of like, that's crazy. Like, there's probably more to the story. And for a second, I thought I might have not even been close to finishing.
What's this?
Some sort of map?
Yeah, so this little puzzle here was actually pretty interesting as well. It took me quite a bit to figure it out, but as you start, like, I guess when I started asking Alyson for like assistance, that's when everything started to piece together.
This looks like a dinner party with the old bear and the very old beaver.
So I think right here, naturally, I thought, you know what, let's go ahead and just look through the Book of Goblins. There might be something telling us about this. But as I found out, there's really nothing that was connected to this. It literally just stemmed from me having to ask for assistance. Unless I paid more attention to the letters, I could have probably figured out on my own. But since I was trying to record and also commenting at the same time, I think I kind of didn't really put too much effort, or not really effort. I just didn't really read the small details. So there I am, just looking around.
That's the gold
okay,
lady's castle.
Let's just start clicking shit, I guess.
What's that plant thing on top?
Oh, those are definitely salmonberry flowers.
Hey, that degree in outdoor studies is paying off.
This is the princess's house. Some sort of clock? It seems like it's not doing anything. Maybe it's broken?
Yeah, so right there I literally just went one whole circle thinking the answer was going to be that simple.
Some sort of clock? This is the princess's, damn it. Why is nothing happening? This is the princess's house.
Yeah, at this point I'm literally just clicking all kinds of shit, just hoping that one of them was going to be the results to that, but it wasn't. And I didn't even notice you can talk to Alyson. I can see the little bubble there. I don't know why I didn't see that when I was first playing it, but yeah, I can definitely see that there's a little bubble there so you can interact with Alyson. And
some sort of
as soon as I did that, that's when everything started to fall into place.
What's that plant thing on top?
Oh, those are definitely salmonberry flowers.
Hey, that degree in outdoor studies is paying off.
That's the gold lady's castle. This looks like a dinner. Come on.
Yeah, that was basically me. But like, oh shit, like what the hell's going on?
What's that plant thing on top?
Oh, those are definitely salmonberry flowers.
Hey, that degree in outdoor studies is paying off.
That's the Gold Lady's castle. Some sort of clock? This looks like a dinner. Come on.
And then so I figured out, wait, I can talk to her. Let's go and ask her.
You need help?
Yeah, I'm stuck. Any ideas?
And I was like, oh shit, okay, so I'm supposed to do this. So I asked about the clock.
A clock. What do you think this is about?
She had that watchmaking job in Juneau, right? So that was probably right before she moved to Delos.
So that's when I started, okay, I think I got this. I think I know what I'm supposed to do.
You need help?
Yeah, I'm stuck. Any ideas? That's our house in the top right corner, isn't it?
Yeah. Hold on. When did she buy the house again? Why don't we go back and check the dates?
I don't think I did that. I think I naturally just
You need
wanted to
help?
use
Yeah, I'm stuck. Any ideas?
the process of elimination and just basically follow that pattern. So I just wanted to make sure I got all the information correct. So I asked about the castle, which I believe
Trying
was
to
her,
make sense of the
her
castle
original
in the bottom
home.
left corner.
Well, it's like we were saying. The Gold Lady lived in one, so it probably represents Marianne's childhood home.
So that's when we start to realize, okay, so if we're going to put this in order, it'll have to
That's
start in the
Gold
castle.
Lady's castle.
That's when my brain started using a little bit of brain power.
Some sort of
And
clock.
this is before she moved to Juneau.
This is the princess's house.
And this is where I should have probably asked for Alyson for the flowers
that
information
plant
before I
thing on
started
top?
Oh,
connecting it.
this looks like a dinner. Come
So
on.
right there, I was like, okay, so I know for sure it's the castle and the clock. And then I asked about the
You need
flowers.
help?
Yeah, I'm stuck. Any ideas? What's up with the salmonberry flowers?
I think those probably represent the commune she stayed at after she moved out.
And that's when I thought, okay, I think I got that all
What's
wrong.
that
So let's go ahead and
plant
put the
thing on
flowers
top?
first,
Oh,
then
those
the
are
clock.
definitely salmonberry
Because
flowers.
again,
Hey,
she used to work
that
for that
degree-
clock
you need
thing
help?
that I watched.
Yeah, I'm stuck. Any ideas?
And the last thing was the dinner table.
What's the deal with this picture of the princess eating dinner with her animal buddies?
Well, the beaver is Eddie's mother, and the bear is Sam. And we know she met Sam and Carol after she moved to Delos. So...
So of course the clock is before she moved to
Some
Delos.
sort of clock?
Then the house,
This is
and
the
then
princess's
finally
house.
the dinner.
This looks like a dinner party with the old
So
bear
yeah,
and the
definitely
very
it
old
took me
beaver.
way longer than it should have. I
Yes.
should have probably asked Alyson first.
What's in there? Another letter?
The princess is lost. Is this from the Book of Goblins?
Not that I know of.
And we got the
Well,
achievement.
sure looks like it could be.
Yes, another achievement. And again, unmissable achievements are always the best achievements, especially when they're worth so much. You just literally have to play the game and you unlock an achievement that's worth like 50 points. Like I know there's some stupid achievements where you just have to press like start or something, or I think move forward and you get like 10 gamer scores for just dumb little achievements like that. And again, I was just reading all this. And I am leaving the screen, I believe. So if you guys were interested, you could read it yourself as well. I am a pretty slow reader, though, so sometimes I do take quite a bit. I think I was just skimming through this because there's no way I finished that shit that fast. that was just the first letter.
And that was how the princess lost her most precious treasure and her title. That was the story she read us that night.
God, it makes sense now.
Yeah, she got pregnant. And she ran away to start a new life. And then she made her way to Delos Crossing, where she was finally happy. But then the baby died.
I can't even imagine how she must have felt. She left everything behind, built a whole new life for him. And then he was just gone.
I guess having us helped her move on. But when it looked like we were going to be taken away, she snapped. She just couldn't lose any more children. It really wasn't anything we did.
I don't know what I'm supposed to do with all this.
I don't either, but all I wanted was to understand what happened to her. And now I do.
Yeah. We still haven't seen what's in that chest. Okay, so how do we open it?
Yeah, so right here I was like, okay, so what am I missing? And I thought I had to do something with these little things, but then I just realized, hang on, these symbols look familiar. Start looking around.
Alright, should be easy enough.
So like I mentioned, if you noticed some of the doors, they had these little symbols on there.
The princess lost her most precious treasure. That's why it all happened.
I still can't wrap my head
And again,
around it.
I should have pieced them together. 3 secret compartments, 3 puzzles that we just solved, right?
Tyler, we're
And
not
of
done with
course,
this one.
me being me, I was just too busy looking around. I forgot the most obvious things that are just like literally planted in front of you. But here again, I am just looking at the symbols, and I
Here,
start to just put
The
in
secret keeper, hiding
all
secrets in
the small
clouds.
little collectibles. And I am assuming
Gold
there
ladies
is going to be an
locked up in a
achievement
castle.
here, but like I mentioned, I did miss one.
Back in your pond, big frog. There you go, stalwart moose. We'll let the mangy muskrat have his rock back. The Ice King goes in the forest, obviously.
And I'm missing that one. I was like, shit. I missed that one. And I was going crazy. I thought, like, oh no. I thought maybe this little box might have the last collectible, so I started putting the other ones in place.
The very old beaver definitely goes in her den. The moonhag's gotta be imprisoned in her lake. The mad hunter, always on the princess's trail. The wise princess goes in the big wooden house, of course. Crafty goblins go here. That's the pious pelican spot.
And then, very anticlimactic because I didn't get the last piece. So I didn't really get to enjoy what would have happened if I had all of them.
Alright.
So this down little box here, I was like, okay, so what do I do? And I started just messing around with the numbers or symbols, I guess. And mind you, I literally didn't know any of this. And I got it. I was like,
Yes.
what the hell? Like, I literally got it. I was so hyped when I first recorded this shit. I was like, I figured it out. But the true way, and I guess I guess there really isn't a right way, but to really find the thing, it really isn't that difficult either.
Did it just get darker in here?
There's little symbols on each door that you open. In every compartment, there's like a little symbol that's hanging there. And that's how you kind of, get the pieces, and you just have to put them together. And that's how you find
Ollie, she noticed.
And this letter here actually is going to explain a lot.
I was her son. Why does she have a photo of that tree locked in here?
So yeah, pay attention to that tree there. And that was the kid.
Is that?
Leo Ronan.
Why didn't she tell us about him? Why didn't she tell us any of this?
I mean, it's fucking terrible. That's why. Allie, did we do the right thing opening this?
We did. It's better we know what happened, even if it's hard. And there's one more thing we need to see.
Are you sure?
Yes. Come on, let's go to the dock. It's time to finish this.
And of course, me like, oh, hold on, I saw something else there.
A baby blanket?
Hey, now that we're done with the important stuff, maybe we can take a crack at these?
And once she said that, I was like, yes. I think I might be able to get the last collectible
Yo
after
Bear's
all.
gifts for the princess. I'm totally blanking on that story.
And again, these other puzzles are so well made. I actually had a lot of fun just trying to figure out. It's like a huge, like, I Spy, type of game. You just have to read the little clues and just piece them together. And I just thought it was a nice little touch to the game. And I wish more games would implement like small things like this, like puzzles that aren't, too difficult and just like really on your face.
Why don't we open
But you
up
just
the
have to
book and
be,
check?
very thorough and just pay attention to what you're reading. Because there's some puzzles out there in some games that are just completely, stupid. Like there's no way you're gonna figure that shit out without looking up a guide. With these, at least it's all in your hands. You just have to read and make sure that you're reading them correctly and you piece them together, and sure enough, you'll figure it out. So right here, I'm just looking through the index, making sure that I find the correct story. Alyson does give you a bit of clues as to what story it is. Also, the picture of the story kind of tells you what it is. For some reason, I wasn't really paying attention. So you can see there, it gives you the picture of the bear, which is also the painting that's on the wall. So that kind of showed me, okay, I gotta read this story. And the details are sort of there. You just kind of have to read and find out what those items are, and you'll figure out. And I think I kind of caught this one fairly easily. Another thing I just realized, I don't use the read button all that much. Like I just read it as, as it is written in the Goblin's book. If I put read, it would definitely zoom in the captions so I could see it more clearly. But I don't know why I didn't hit the read button. And right here, I'm just okay. So I think I figured it out. So let me go ahead and just pick the pieces.
Hazelnut.
So immediately I figured out, no, that's not one.
Actually,
That's not
I'm
what
not
the bear
sure.
killed.
Huh.
And I was
Fresh
like,
caught
yes,
salmon?
that's one of them.
A
That was
handful
one
of
of them
ripe
as well.
berries?
And I was like, hang on. But then,
Wait,
yeah, good.
a handful of ripe berries? A newly bloomed
There you go.
bluebell?
Pretty simple
Nice.
puzzles. Just a lot of reading.
He had it bad. Just couldn't let go.
And this is another note from Sam. who generally was just a person that was very concerned for Marianne. I have no doubt that he also had feelings for her, but considering Marianne was going through the type of things that she was going through, I guess she just wasn't really looking to be in a relationship. And again, I don't think I read all that. I think I just literally just skimmed through it because I don't read that fast.
The crafty goblin's loot.
That's from the princess and the two thieves.
There you go. So Alice told me what the story was, and now I just have to find it. And there it is, and just again read it as it is. So I'm actually kind of amazed as to how long some of these puzzles actually took me. Like I mentioned earlier, that I'm a huge puzzle guy. Like I played the hell out of Resident Evil, like the old school ones as well, not the remakes, because I feel like they kind of watered down the puzzles for the remakes, but the old school, like the GameCube, the PlayStation, the just the old Resident Evil ones, but the puzzles were very very well made and kind of confusing. I was able to figure those out. Also with Tomb Raider, I'm a huge Tomb Raider fan. With the tombs, you kind of have to solve some puzzles and some riddles. So I literally thought, okay, this should be no problem, but for some reason it took me way longer than I thought it should. And one thing that also just occurred to me, that this game, whether it is a game to...
I drew the original.
And I distinctly remember drawing that cake, which is arguably the best part of that illustration.
All right, Picasso.
Some flour for the cake, maybe?
Yeah, so I do know that this game...
Didn't they take some
although
of the
it
princess's
is
clothes?
a good game to post videos for,
What if they took some spoons?
I think it's relatively a better game to
not.
play while streaming.
Maybe they took some of the princess's fruit?
I think it's the type of game that you'll be able to interact with your audience
Pretty sure they stole some eggs.
way better than it is to just upload bits of it.
Did they steal candy? Actually, I'm not sure.
So right now I'm just rereading it again. I did get some pieces of the puzzle correctly. I think there was just one thing that was there that shouldn't have been pulled, and I think I just need to just figure it out, and I would have solved the puzzle. So yeah, so it is just a bunch of reading, especially if you have a good memory span and you can retain a lot of things that you read. Usually these puzzles will be nothing for you. I forget shit quite easily, so I will have to reread a lot of the times just to figure one thing out.
Sure. Some flour for the cake, maybe? Maybe not. Maybe not.
There we go.
That's it. I always wondered where that drawing went. She said it was her favorite, and then one day it just disappeared.
I remember as kids, I used to draw shit for my mom. I don't think she ever kept any of them. Honestly, I don't think it's necessarily like her hating them. I just think, once we get older, you just kind of get rid of a bunch of shit, and I don't think we have any of our drawings that we have when we were kids. It's kind of sad.
The very old beaver's repair list.
That's the story where the princess's house gets damaged by a storm and the animals
I
help her
think
fix
this
it.
puzzle is the one that I
What did they do to fix it
figured
again?
out pretty quickly. So it looks like I'm finally using the read button so we can zoom in to to the writing. So I believe in this portion here, it's not that I'm reading this very slow. I think I got distracted because I think my brother came into the room and he was asking me something, and I completely got distracted and I left it on that portion. But yeah, so again, that's one thing that I hate, that I wasn't able to capture the raw audio of it, because there was a lot of back and forth between me and my brother. Like, we talk a bunch of bullshit and we cuss each other out. But yeah, so I think that's what the issue was with this portion. I was just literally just talking to him while recording at the same time. So don't get the bad idea that I'm a slow fucking reader. Like, I am a slow reader, don't get me wrong, but not that slow.
She fixed the roof shingles. She slapped the post with her tail to write it. She repaired the
nope,
water
that's
leak.
not it.
Or not. She fixed the planks that
So
were
yeah, that
right.
one was relatively easy to solve.
Damn. That must have been rough on Eddie.
Yeah, he doesn't really like to talk about her.
And again, this is the letter that they wrote, or in regards to Eddie's mom passing away. So basically in the story, they mentioned about the beaver, who was actually Marianne's best friend, who was also the mother of Eddie. So she ended up, just getting sick and ended up passing away. So this is basically that letter, letting them know. Yeah, so pretty sad letter that Carol just left to Marianne, knowing that she wasn't going to get better, and just asking her to look over Eddie. Hence why they call him Uncle Eddie. In a way, it's almost like a brother.
Crafty goblins' good deeds.
Of course, the goblins had to help out the creatures of the forest, pay off their debt to the pelican.
Well, what did they do?
I don't really
So right, so
remember.
this puzzle, for some reason, this puzzle completely threw me off. I don't know what it was. I think I got the right story, because it was so obvious with the drawings of the little goblins and the little things that were in the back. I think it's like a little palette of like food, like there's like a lobster and all that. And for some reason, my dumbass didn't read that story. I think I just skimmed through it and I decided, okay, it's not this one, and I left it. And I went to some other one where I started just wasting time trying to figure it out, only to realize I was on the right story the whole time. So this one did take me a little while to figure it out. Completely stupid. It just went over my head. So like right there, you can see there's like it looks like a little crab and all that, and I just went back for some reason. I was like, and yeah, so there's like little crabs. I skimmed through it. It even says it says right there, the pelican forgives the goblins. And I don't know why, I just thought, okay, it's not this one. And I think I'm gonna back out here and go to another story. Yeah, and just looking at the painting, I already know what the answer is. Like, it was so obvious. I think this this story was like the most
They removed a thorn
most
from the
obvious
frog's
one,
back.
basically letting you know which one to work because it gives you the animal's name.
Actually,
So it's almost like, okay, you know. And again, there I go, skimming through the book again. It's like, hey, dumbass, you're already in the correct book. Just read it again. And I did it, and I took longer than it needed to. Yeah, I think what I was trying to look for was the title that was written on top of the painting, which was kind of a little bit misleading, but not really, because it is basically the Pelicans trying to forgive the goblins. And here I am looking for every story that has the Pelican in the title. And then I am just skimming through it, and I guess I realized, okay, it's not this one. It doesn't, I don't think it mentions anything about the goblins.
I'm not sure. Huh. They had to give nuts to the muskrat. Wait. It broke open the beehive for the bear. They helped fix the beaver dam.
I think at that point I was literally just trying to go.
They hugged the princess when she
I was trying to
crying.
go by the tone of Tyler's voice.
Huh. They had to give
You
nuts
can
to the
kind
muskrat.
of, you know, hear a little bit
Yeah, I'm not
of
sure.
enthusiasm when he gets excited
Gave
when
the
something
stalwart
is
moose
either
a good
correct,
scratch on the back.
but I couldn't figure it out.
Wait. They removed a thorn from the frog's back.
See, like right there, if I would have followed that theory,
Wait.
I probably would have been thrown off on that frog.
They gave the stalwart moose a good scratch on the back. Wait. Huh. They had to give nuts to the mud.
Yeah, at that point, I'm literally just trying to, just trying to make things happen by putting random switches here.
The crafty goblin's good deeds.
Of course. The goblins had to help out the creatures of the forest to pay off their debt to the pelican.
Well, what?
And I think right there, that's when I noticed, okay, the little picture has the little crab on there. So it has to be this one. So I went ahead and started rereading it again. And what do you know? That some of the information is like literally right there planted in front of my face. It says right there. It says, you must share the food, but you must in return follow my example. With generous with others. And then it says here, you has nimble hands, crafty much. And it says here for the rest of the day, looking ways to help the other creatures of the forest. And that's when they went and started doing the good deeds by. And that's when I figured out, okay,
I
I
don't
got this.
really remember.
They gave the stalwart moose a good scratch on the back. Maybe not.
Flip the princess back.
They hugged the princess when she was crying. It broke open the beehive for the bear. Maybe not.
And then the frog.
Maybe not. Nailed it. Our lives would have been so different if their friendship hadn't gone to shit.
And then right here, I just figured, since we recorded almost 50 minutes, I figured this will be a good spot to end the video. I did ended up recording after this one with the intentions that I was going to be able to record the last part and then just upload it with the audio, but unfortunately, I didn't see the footage after I completed the other part. So on the next video, the same issue with the audio not being recorded also happened, so I will have to unfortunately make another voiceover for that one. So hopefully you guys understood the little mishap. I do apologize for that. I know it kind of takes away from the immersion of the story, but I did kind of have to do the best I could with what was given. So hopefully you guys understand, and hopefully you guys even made it to the very end of the video. If you guys enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like. If you actually prefer these commentary type things, definitely let me know. If you're following me on Instagram, also you can DM me any suggestions. You can give me any kind of games that you might want to see me play. But other than that, we're towards the end of the game. So I will definitely have that next portion uploaded shortly after this one. But with that being said, guys, I appreciate you taking the time to watch my videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright, y'all take care now. Peace.